I hit these drones!
Don't throw the guns. Trey, become the drone slayer.
Now that's how you're supposed to shoot. From now on, you shoot just like that. Today on American Outlaw, kinetic drones, also known as kamikaze drones, FPV, first-person view drones. They're small aircraft. These drones are not the future of warfare. They are the current TTPs of warfare. It's brand new. We're only 2 years into this, and it's a problem. It doesn't matter what side of the current conflicts you stand on. What we have to do is be vigilant, and we have to learn from war. We have to learn from the TTPs of other people so that we can be prepared for them in our next conflict. Why should you listen to me? What is my experience? By now, you know that drones are what I do. I have been in both conflict areas that are currently simultaneously happening quite a bit. For the last 2 years on one, for the last almost year on the other. And one thing that I've seen is from the very larger companies that you can think of, the big names, they're building big, nice, fancy drones. And then the smaller ones, they're building, trying to just come up with anything that they can. But the most dangerous thing of all of them that I see is the people like you and me that are building them in their garage. For just a few $100s, $500 or $600, you can build an incredibly dangerous, small, unmanned aerial vehicle or kamikaze drone. In America, we have been in conflict for the last 2 decades, regardless of how you feel about that. We have not ever had to face the possibility of these small kinetic drones. So we're developing new TTPs as we go. We're actually watching them be developed now. So today, let's go over a few ways from friends that I have that have firsthand experience, from some of my firsthand experience, how we can help you survive. All right, so a couple of things on drone defense. One of them is, of course, we need EW, electronic warfare. This will help you detect when they're coming. If you look at the current conflicts right now, though, they're always in the sky. So typically, there's a 2-system way of using these drones. One system will be a drone with probably a thermal camera or a very good zoom camera over it. A lot of times you're gonna see this is just a DJI Mavic or something like this. If it's a more military drone, maybe it's, I don't want to mention some of those other drones, but let's just say it's the Russian drone. It's going to be the Orlan 10. And so you're going to have these drones up above you. It could be quadcopters and it could be fixed wings. And they're going to be watching. So that's probably going to be the very first thing that you know is you're looking for a recce team that might be out, so some movement far away from you, or another drone that you hear coming in the area. Now, the first thing you have to do is prepare beforehand. Fishing nets work great. Fishing lines work great. I know that sounds super rudimentary, but if you can just get fishing line and string it across the areas where you think they're going to come in, that gives you a pretty good option to be able to defend from them, because they can't see it, they'll come and they'll hit it. Same thing with a fishing net. Just stretch a fishing net out tight and then let them come in and hit it. One of the things you got to be worried about is whenever it comes to any type of ordnance, the ordnance itself, frag is what you think of, like when you think of a frag grenade. That's not what actually will take human life. What takes your life is the pressure. So you have to be away from it, a pretty far standoff. So you'd want the nets as far away from you as you can possibly get where it can still stop it, okay? That's pretty important things to be able to worry about, because you don't want the net right here and you standing right here, or even 5 yards away from it, because you're probably not gonna make it out of that. Some of the little drones that I've seen, the FPV drones that I've seen, can carry 6.5 pounds of ordnance. Guys, that's like enough to blow up a tank or half of a house. Now, most of them don't carry that much, but they do carry that much from time to time. You hear the drone coming now. Maybe you see the spotter drone, or maybe you just hear an FPV. They're super loud. They're coming at you really, really fast. And here's a couple of examples of how fast they're coming at you and how it's almost impossible for you to run. So it's not like you're going to be able to run around a vehicle, because we understand the pressure. So first thing you want to do is everybody run except for your last line of defense guy, and he is the drone slayer. And I want to tell you, I think I found the perfect tool for this job in defense of these small FPV drones. The drone slayer himself.
I'm Cody with Genesis Arms. This is a Gen 12, commonly called the Drone Slayer. It's a 5-inch barreled, suppressed, semi-automatic, 12-gauge shotgun. The Gen 12 is the fastest cycling shotgun on the planet. It has all of the AR-style controls that you would find on a regular AR-15. So, magazine fed, let's get on the range, run it. To hear is a doubt, to see is deceived, but to feel is to believe.
All right, let's go prove it.
All right, the Gen 12 is a semi-automatic, magazine-fed, 12-gauge. So the same manual of arms that you're used to and love with an AR-15, but in a 12-gauge.
Shooter ready? Stand by.
Stand by.
Standing by again.
All right, I'm ready.
Shooter ready? Stand by. Woo, that was fast. That was 1.13. That was fast. That's cooking with gas. All right, let's do it again. Ready? Hey, he hit it. Wait. Oh, it's on the line. I'll give it to you on the line.
It's close.
All right, ready? Shooter ready? Stand by. Woo! 114. Look at that. That's fast. That's fast. I think this might be the fastest shotgun.
All right, shooter ready, stand by.
Ooh, little low. Little low.
Redeem. Stand by. There it is. 9.9.
Woohoo! 9.9. Dude, this thing is fast. It doesn't even recoil. What was that?
So we're shooting slugs. These are the 1,300 feet per second, low recoil,
Oh my gooseneck.
rifled slugs.
This is a slug. I thought it was bird shot. Whoa, that's fast. All right, this drill, we're gonna do a 1-1-2-1-1.
All right, shooter, make ready.
Push, pull. All right.
Stand by. Woo, 208.
208. I feel like I go faster.
I think so. Shooter ready, stand by.
I'm out of bullets. I'm out of bullets.
Stand by. Nice, too flat.
Too flat. Your turn. What we got? Too flat. That's too. That's fast. This shotgun doesn't recoil at all. All right, shooter ready? Stand by.
Oh, let's do it again. I got ahead of myself. Let's do the right drill.
All right, shooter ready? Stand by.
Oh, I had a miss.
Oh,
I had a
173,
miss.
but a miss. That was so fast. Hey, make sure you stick around to watch us teach you how to shoot drones down. All right, guys, these Ewoks, they're kind of hard to kill. So what we're gonna do is a build drill on them. And I've been using the Mantis to practice my build drill so much, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be faster than Cody on this drill.
All right, shooters ready, stand by. Woohoo! 1, 2, 5.
1, 2, 5. That felt slow. All right, let me do it again.
All right, shooters ready, stand by.
I had one low. No,
116.
Woo, that was fast. Guys, listen, I'm pretty sure this is the fastest shotgun I've ever shot. As a matter of fact, I'm positive this is the fastest gun I've ever shot. Cody thinks he can do it faster than, what was that?
116.
I don't think he can do it faster than 116, but here we go. Stand by. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, that's 109. He freaking beat me. The dude's got the trigger finger like you've never seen. Hey, listen. YouTube, for you YouTube algo guys, like the YouTubers, the bosses over there, listen, these are semi-automatic. This is just the fastest shotgun and the fastest 2 trigger fingers this side of the Mississippi. All right, guys, I know most of you have something very similar to this. It doesn't have to be this setup, but this is an AR-15 5.56, an excellent combat option, an excellent, at this point in time, I'm gonna say these are our personal protection options. The problem with these in shooting drones is a drone is moving through the air very fast, and this is a single projectile. So to be able to hit something with a single projectile is very, very difficult to do, which is why this is probably not the option you want. And something like this is. This is a 12 gauge, the Drone Slayer. It will put out multiple pellets at one time. so you have a better chance of hitting a moving target. So let's talk about this. All right, Drone Slayer, what is the best way to shoot down drones?
Obviously, the best way to practice shooting down drones is to shoot down drones. But unless you got a giant bankroll and you can buy every type of variation of drone out there and get that experience, you got to start with the basics, and that's just tracking and identifying a moving object in the sky, and that just reverts back to clay pigeons. So get some clays, a hand tosser, and get to the range.
All right, guys, so from somebody who shot a lot of clay pigeons and a lot of legacy shotguns. What I mean by legacy shotguns is over and unders, standard bead sight shotguns, pumps, some semi-automatics. You have to be able to practice with something like this, which is a combat option, which gives you a combat optic, more importantly, a magazine, so you can make sure that you get the follow-up shots on fast, because the typical legacy shotguns that are shooting 2 to 3 rounds, thus far of us practicing, aren't enough.
No, and also it being magazine, you reload. So if you need to get the gun back up, you're not thumbing one in at a time, you're going plus 10.
There we go, the dedicated shotgunner. All right, guys, let's shoot some clays and practice for this. Hey, wait a minute. Say hi to Jake from State Farm, our professional drone thrower. If without Jake, we couldn't make this possible. Say hi, Jake. No, you gotta wave, Jake. All right, here we go. Drone. The girls at school are gonna be like, Jake. Drone.
Nice, that was awesome. Split it and then split it again.
Drone. Out of bullets. Listen, if you guys haven't shot drones with Genesis shotguns, you're wrong. Cody, why Genesis, bro?
Well, Genesis is the beginning, and this was the beginning of a new era for shotguns. You know, historically, shotguns have a legacy of being tube fed, and they're relatively unchanged, and due to that, that is mostly due to ammunition. You know, the ammunition's been unchanged since its inception as well. But shotguns give us a versatility for, you know, bird shot, buckshot, slugs, flechette, tungsten rounds. I mean, there's a whole assortment of options available for 12 gauge, which is why it's such a desirable tool. Which is kind of how we started, was just as a main form shotgun that's magazine fed, built on the AR-10 lower. Our inspiration for the shotgun itself actually comes from Eugene Stoner. This little hidden secret here, so everybody's gonna get that together. So there's a shotgun made by Armalite called the AR-17, and it's called the Golden Gun. It's a all aluminum barrel, all aluminum chassis. It's a 2-round trap gun, and it's a short recoil operated.
So when you first came up with the idea, what year was this?
So company was formed in 2014. I wasn't actually the main body behind this. So the founders, they started in 2014, and then I came on board in 2016.
Okay, so 2014 to 2016, drones weren't even a thought.
No.
All right, we're gonna get to that in a second, but drones weren't even a thought. All right, so walk me through, you've got this Eugene Stoner inspired Genesis, probably the funnest gun I've ever touched. Walk me through the process. Why a 5-inch barrel?
Okay, so let's start with just a little history as a professional tool, right? So we were commercially viable. People wanted a home defense system, and 12 gauge, the Gen 12 answered that. Reliability, performance, magazine fed, AR controls, all the things that you'd want out of a magazine fed shotgun, or any shotgun for that matter. And then we got a request for a breaching shotgun, and this was federally adopted in 2023. And so this is basically form and function to replace all of the Remington 870 MCSs that were traditionally tube fed with 2 or 3 rounds, but now you get 5 rounds plus it's semi-auto. It is designed to be worn on the body with a single point, and then you draw it up just like you would traditionally do in breaching, as you're familiar. But as things kind of evolved for us, we realized that there was further potential, and we started to experiment with suppressors from a whole bunch of different companies, and this released in 2024 with us. This is the 5-inch barreled and the Huxworks Ventum 12K 12 gauge suppressor. We have the exclusive on this. It is purpose built for our system. We have this out now for the commercial market, so you can get this, but it was designed for the professional end user. So what are some of the things that professional end users need that obviously we want as citizens as well? Well, 12 gauge and a 5-inch barrel, the pressure at the muzzle when you're shooting it in an indoor range is pretty excessive. So putting the suppressor on there, you're gonna reduce that pressure down 60%. So this just makes it, like you said yourself, this is just one of the most enjoyable guns to shoot. You know, you were running the 5-inch barrel with the 12 gauge can as well. And it's just an experience that you have to have, and it just changes the entire dynamic of a 12 gauge when you get behind it. So this one was also kind of inspired for breaching with a collapsible stock here, PDW style. This measures roughly 25 inches in overall length. We put an optic on it. That way, if you want to do a slug changeover, you could deploy a stock and have a precision shot with it. So, but this system, a lot of fun. And
it is legit. Guys, I've been doing guns for a really long time, so a lot of guns don't really excite me. There are excellent guns out there. There are great guns for self-defense. There are very few guns out there that I say self-defense, but unbelievably fun to shoot. I laughed and jacked around and played this entire session because this is the funnest gun that I've ever shot. You just have to shoot one to understand that.
Can I make one last note?
Yeah.
So
no, one last note. Hell no. Just go to it. Go.
All right. So we got some capabilities, right? So most of the time, people are going to be running, like law enforcement, for example. They run buckshot and they run birdshot. So everybody has this idea that our shotgun needs to be like a 13-inch barrel. Well, why a 13 or 14-inch barrel?
Right. So this is the understanding I have from that side of the world. 18-inch barrel was what we have for everyday stuff. 14-inch barrel, maybe 12-inch barrel for breacher or CQB. So that is just industry, what they told us. When you say, hey, Trey, why this? I'm like, I don't know.
So my belief is that it was the compromise to get the maximum capability of magazine capacity. So you're not compromising a loss of too many rounds, but then you still have, accuracy and all the other things. Well, what surprised us is that our 10.5 is honestly like our do-it-all, right? So it's a 10.5-inch barrel, shoulder fired in the SBS configuration. We also have other firearms that ship without a stock, and those are awesome, right? They're one of our best sellers. Well, this gun and our 5-inch barrel with the suppressor, they pattern the same. Accuracy is the same out to 100 yards. So our 5-inch barrel shotguns are able to hold, with non-flight control buckshot at 5 yards of 5-inch spread, 5 to 6 inch spread. And that is on par with what the 10.5-inch does. We can go out to 100 yards and you can easily engage a silhouette at 100 yards, the same accuracy standard. We use 5-inch group as kind of the standard. So for 5 inches or below, that's what we're doing. So that's the whole thing. Is it actually surprised us. Maybe it just came to us to be a breaching solution to reduce overpressure for the zero contact shot, but it does everything else, and we haven't really found a limitation yet. And even when we're shooting birds or clays or drones out of the sky, the 5-inch is proving to be just as capable as the longer barrels.
All right, so now let's fast forward to 2022, into a conflict that you all know is happening. It's been happening for a couple of years now. We have watched drones go from something that we never even thought of to something that is the standard in warfare right now. So you have to understand it's coming from both sides. Not only are the good guys using it, the bad guys are using it as well. However you perceive that, we don't care. And every conflict, we can learn something from it. So doesn't matter what side you see, I don't care. I'm just saying this is not the future anymore, it's now. How did you figure out that this would be a good idea for drones?
Well, it was more of a desire to revolutionize the space, the weapon system itself, magazine fed, the ergonomics, the capacity, the end user being able to, placard out magazines rather than carry a bunch of loose rounds to try to figure out how to reload. And then us being able to push out the extended ranges and also just maintain quality patterning in the shorter configuration. It became more of what can a shotgunner be? What could a shotgunner be? So I think that we're kind of in the early infancies of proving that, and even in the adoption phase. But from the demos I've been doing, people's little light bulbs are going off.
So guys, listen, these small FPV drones, they're going anywhere from 30 to some of them 100 miles an hour. You should think about that. 100 miles an hour. This little drone, about the time you hear it and see it, it's too late. So having a pump shotgun is difficult, especially if you had to reload, maybe they missed a pass and they're coming back around. Having a semi-auto where it's just like your AR-15 is incredible. And one of the things I want you to remember, the world has said the shotgun is dead for a long time. How long have you heard that? The shotgun is dead. In a world of drone warfare, regardless of where you thought 2 years ago, the shotgun is the hero of the battlefield. All right, guys, listen, after you practice and you got your feet wet on the clay pigeons and you know you're a bad member jammer, what you might want to practice on is a drone! All right, guys, and this is the aftermath of the drone slayer and the kinetic drone trying to take your life. It's better if you can take theirs. Drone! Oh! That's in pieces, sucker! It's in pieces! All kind of little pieces. Now that's how you shoot drones.